What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla stock as we're seeing some more sales data that's very important. I'm going to break down the government shutdown that has started, how this is affecting the market thus far. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below or use my QR code right over here to sign up. Moomoo is an awesome global brokerage that's giving away exclusive offers. If you sign up and deposit $100, you're going to get $20 of free Nvidia stock. If you deposit $2,000, you're going to get $50 worth of Nvidia for free plus $100. Deposits $10,000 to get $300 worth of Nvidia plus $100, or deposits $50,000 to get $1,000 of free Nvidia plus $100. You're also going to qualify for an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash, and the offer ends very soon, so use my link down below to sign up. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening with Tesla. So, as far as Tesla's going, I just want to mention that we're holding up very, very nicely on Tesla. We're still riding this 20 EMA up very nicely. Now, if we do lose this 437 area where the 20 EMA is, we could be dipping lower. But as long as we're above this, we're favoring an attempt to retest 445, then eventually push for the 450s for another breakouts towards the upside direction. So the question is, will Tesla get that bounce or not? What's going on so far? There's been some negative news as the government shutdown has now started, and as a result of this, we're going to see a lot of changes, at least for the time being. But we're going to see what happens if this can be cut short or not. But nonetheless, this did cause the market to dip just a little bit, but it's not too bad. The market's getting bought back up right now, and we could be once again continuing to hold up. Right now, many investors are getting ready for some big changes for Tesla. Tesla's updated the Model Y performance, launching it for about $57,000 USD. And then once again, it has a range of about 308 miles with a 0 to 60 time in 3.3 seconds, which is fantastic. This is what it looks like. Very, very cool and futuristic. That's a good launch by Tesla. On top of this, people are also waiting for the sales data coming out tomorrow morning. It's going to be a very important day. Many people in the US are rushing to secure the $7,500 EV tax credit that's going to be expiring. It's already expired, if anything. And hopefully, we see a big increase in the American sales. Also, the European sales still have some weakness here and there, although it's mixed overall. Like, there are some areas where sales are rising, such as in France and Denmark for the month of September. And there was continued growth in Norway and Spain, and that's in some areas. But then in other areas, we did see things kind of slow down. And the overall sales in Europe are still down a bit, at least for the year. So hopefully Tesla could offset the European slowdown with a big improvement in the US. The US is a big market for Tesla, so hopefully we see improvement. Now, the shutdown has begun, and this is important news because, once again, the Senate have failed to pass a short-term funding bill, and now they're going to be expected to vote on the same two bills again. This is important because when they vote on these two bills, we're going to see what happens moving forward. Can they end up passing at least one of them? On top of this, once again, different federal departments have different procedures, but many of them may have to be furloughed. But others may have to show up for work without pay, and we're going to see what happens. President Trump mentioned there could even be some layoffs, so be careful. We're going to see if that ends up happening or not. With the shutdown in progress, once again, there is some fear about this. The market dipped a little bit, but it's not too bad. We're still holding up. We're going to see what also happens as well as the market is still holding up decently. And then President Trump also announced a big deal with Pfizer, and a lot of tariffs that are going to be coming out. So that's going to be another factor affecting things. We have a lot of tariffs on different products, from pharmaceuticals to furniture, and then trucks. They're also going to be imposed today, according to President Trump. So that being said, what's happening today? Today is Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. At 9:45 a.m., we have the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. Then at 10 o'clock a.m., we have the ISM Manufacturing PMI, employment, new orders, and prices. Expect volatility 15 minutes and 30 minutes after the stock market opens with all this data coming out. As far as Tesla's going, we're very resilient. Like I said before, I want to see us lose this green line to be bearish. You have to lose 437.65 to really start dipping. It's possible we kind of consolidate, and then we could be looking for a pushback up for the 450s. As long as you hold above this green line, we're going to be looking for a big bounce to new highs on Tesla. I also want to see us hold above 445 to continue. Look for a small dip to 437, some consolidation, then an attempt to push for the 450s as the most likely possibility. Overall, Tesla has the potential to bounce, and there's a good chance it does try to continue that trend. On top of this, when it comes to SPY, we're range bound right now. If we end up losing 660, we're looking for a big dump back down. If we break past 665, we're going to be more bullish. I would not be surprised if SPY kind of turns down and consolidates a little bit. As long as we don't lose 660, we could still bounce. And then we might be filling this gap overnight as time goes on to start pushing in the next couple of days. That's what's going to likely happen. Before we start pushing to fill the gaps, there might be a little bit of a dip in a consolidation between 660 and 662. Then we could be looking for a big bounce back up to 666 and all-time highs. Same thing with the QQQ. We're only down 0.49%, which is not much. There's also a gap to fill overnight. We could kind of like dip a little bit, retest that 596 range and consolidate. Then we're going to be looking to see if we can bounce back up to 600. If we lose 594, we could be more bearish, but as of right now, we're favoring a reaccumulation and a bounce. On the IWM, we're dipping a bit, so we're going to see if we could hold 238. Might dip to 240, then we'll see if we bounce back up for like 242, so give that some time. ES is holding support very nicely where the 50 EMA is. If we lose 66.97, we're looking for a dump back down to 66.80. As long as we hold this, we're looking for a nice rebound for 67.20. Hopefully we hold support and start pushing back up, so we'll just have to see how it goes. On NQ, the same thing is going on. We need to lose 24,731 to start dumping. As long as you hold this, we're looking for a nice rebound for 24,800, so give this the time it needs. Bitcoin's pumping very, very nicely. Inverse head and shoulders setup. It's going to be favoring 117,500. And once again, as long as Tesla does not lose 437, we could be looking for a bounce. May consolidate in the morning, could retest 437 and kind of consolidate before it starts bouncing for the 450s. As long as you hold the green line, we should consolidate and bounce. Nvda needs to break past 187 to really break out higher. But if we lose 185, we're looking for a dip back down to 181. If we dip to 182.5, we're going to be looking for a big balance, but I do see some downside potential. Might retest 184 to 182.5, and then we'll see if we bounce once again on Nvda. Aapl needs to lose 253 to really start dumping. As long as you hold this, though, we could be looking for an attempt for 257.5. For Palantir, we're making higher lows so far. As long as we don't lose 179, we're favoring consolidation, then an attempt for essentially that 183 area. For AMD, we're kind of in the middle right here. If we end up losing 160, we're looking for a big dump. But if you break past 164, we're looking for a bounce. Look for consolidation, then attempts to push for 164. Coinbase is looking more bullish. We came back up. There's going to be some tough resistance near 348, but I might be pushing towards that. Amazon showing some weakness. We need to hold at least 218. If so, we could be filling the gap for 219 to 220. Then we'll see how it goes. Meta is on a bit of a downtrend. We need to see if we could hold 718 or else we're going to be dipping a lot more. So watch 718 and see how it goes. Google could also be retesting 240 and we'll see if it bounces. And Microsoft should be retesting 513 to 511 before it tries to bounce, so keep that in mind. The VIX is going a bit higher, but there is a gap to fill below. There's also another gap down here. Might pop before it starts to dip, and then the market might basically, consolidate around here before it tries to bounce, and Tesla may follow the trend. Look for some consolidation in the 440 to 444 area, and then we could be looking for a bounce end of day for that 450 mark. But it also depends on this data coming out. We have a lot of data at 9:45 and 10 o'clock a.m., so be ready. As long as Tesla does not lose this green line by close, we should kind of like dip and consolidate and eventually try to bounce for the 450s again. So we're still technically on an uptrend and we're holding up very nicely. We'll see how deliveries goes going into tomorrow. And until then, please be very patient. Thank you all so much for listening and peace out.